the program. In the spirit of rebellion, you decide to skip to work and go shopping. That occurs to you. That must be the program after you gets the device. Can I help you decide what to do? In order to do anything, simply ignore the fact that your program decide what to do just as if you were free. And that one must regard decision springs ultimately from principles that we have chosen justifiably by those principles. We must regard ourselves as having free will. But even if you don't, okay, so that means that we are free. But second, I would say that we actually do have free will because we still have capacity to reflect actions, to reflect upon their actions, choose among those actions. The fact that we have this reflective capacity, we have the capacity to choose impulses over another. That means that we actually do have free will. Just because causes put us in a situation, that situation is different, does not mean that we still don't have free will. But third, I would say you can turn this argument to terms of true. That means it's possible to affirm any sort of normative claim because any sort of normative claim presumes the possibility of free will. An on statement will only make sense with the capacity to act on that on statement. That means it's an on-face reason to gain the resolution right there. Okay, Scheffler. This Scheffler argument makes no sense because it never proves there's a deontological violation of both worlds, but even so that means that you can't use it to like say that deontology doesn't make sense. He has to actually prove it. But second, I'd say that even if trade-offs exist, they're only utilitarian trade-offs. That end-based statements occur, not deontological trade-offs, so it actually still doesn't matter on that level. Third, I would say that even if trade-offs occur, that doesn't mean that we have to throw out the ethical system. It just means it triggers permissibility in that specific instance, and you negate. Waller is entirely question-begging because it's asserting the purpose of the state, but the purpose of the state, that is absolutely ridiculous. There's no like teleological capitalism, no teleological meta-ethic. We don't have to look at what the purpose of a state is. Doesn't matter in terms of what the state ought to do. Remember, that's just like appealing to like a higher meta standard that was never justified. So it doesn't matter like what the purpose of the state is. But second, I would say that like I define what the purpose of the state through the meta-ethic. And the purpose of the state is to be a rational being that acts on universal axioms. So that means I'm precluding that level. Contention. Turning. Juveniles ought to be rehabilitated. Juveniles are more susceptible to rehabilitation change. That means that even under the affirmative framework of rehabilitation, we still treat them differently. Central child and family policy explains. The juvenile justice is based on the premise that adolescent characters more mental change, adult character, adolescent offenders more response to rehabilitation. In fact, hormonal change during adolescent and teenage years makes especially flexible time for adaptive behavior patterns. Several evaluations programs targeting adolescent offenders have demonstrated success in altering criminality. 1997 revealed after 2 years that 44% of low pure adolescents who received the therapeutic foster care incarcerated compared to adolescents and treating other residents. Furthermore, the aggression training replacing ARTs, profiling aggressive youth in the age to 12, 17, 1994, 50% rate by adolescent first participating in ART and 43% rate of those who now receive the treatment. These studies lend support in those in adolescent characters is in fact more amenable to positive change.
Okay, can I see everything you read?
Yep. That's the last thing. Permissibility, top thing, you see it?
Yeah.
You have these. You have the answer?
Yeah. Content international.
Yeah. And that's just the permissibility stuff.
Okay. So,
and this is the course guard card over on the AC.
Oh yeah, I'll see that.
Course guard forward.
Okay. Ready? So what is the negative world you defend? Do you defend the status quo juvenile justice system?
The negative world that I defend?
Yeah.
I just defend a world in which they are treated differently.
Right, what does that look like?
I mean, it can be a world in which they are like juveniles are rehabilitated to a higher degree than adults.
Wait, so how are you rehabilitated to a higher degree? And how's that distinct
like,
from the act?
No, because they are treated differently. We offer more rehabilitation to juveniles and adults. Like
none
of the negative offerings is contingent on this, except for the term on the AC.
Why is the quantity? So the negative case does not rely on some notion of a different.
No, it just says that they have different status in the eyes of morality. So that means that there is a prohibition on what the government can do to juveniles. That prohibition does not exist in terms of adults.
Okay, so you say I can read disadvantages to your advocacy.
Yes.
What is your advocacy?
You can say that when we negate the resolution, we violate international law. International law says that we have to treat them the same. That's what you can do.
Is that sufficient to vote affirmative?
That's a deontological violation for the affirmative. If you prove defense on my deontological violations, then you win.
Okay, so if I win, I don't violate international law. I win.
Then it's permissible. That's defense.
So it's permissible. And
yes.
Permissibility goes negative.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can turn permissibility.
Let's talk about why do I violate international law?
That's the ICCPR.
It says that we can't allow for life. We can't have life without parole sentences for juveniles. Okay. So if I do not have life without parole sentences for juveniles, then I do not violate the
No. Remember the analysis under that argument.
Okay.
Is that means that there's a prohibition on life without parole for juveniles.
Would we have life without parole sentences? Why would we have life without parole sentences in a system where we try to rehabilitate adults?
It doesn't matter. There's a prohibition on doing that for juveniles.
In the status
quo. That prohibition, no, not in the status. No, it's just saying there's a moral prohibition for
So
life
if
without
there's a
parole
moral
sentence.
prohibition in the AF world for treating adults with life without parole, then why is that not similar treatment?
Yeah, I just responded. I responded to that by saying that I'm saying that there's a moral prohibition. The government cannot morally give life without parole sentences to juveniles.
They can't do it to adults. No, not in the world of the affirmative. So if they can't do that,
No, you're saying that they can't do it. You're trying to fiat that. I'm
right,
saying
you
that
can
they
see
morally
can
can't.
reform.
Yeah, so I'm saying you can reform the system. You can say that we ought to treat them the same, but under that means that you have to provide a reason why they ought to, right? The NC shows that that this treaty says that we can't do something to juveniles that we can do to adults.
Okay.
You're just saying that, like, oh, why don't we do it to adults too? Like, the government has the ability to give
That's
LWs.
fine. And your
that
Shapiro
prohibition does not
argument,
exist.
your Shapiro argument is that we need to recognize some mitigating factors
Yeah.
in adults. Okay, that's fine.
In juveniles.
Yeah, in juveniles, sorry. Okay, that's fine. Start us right. Go for it. So what does the Coast Guard evidence say?
On the ACIC?
Yeah.
Okay. Coast Guard says that we have to act under the idea of freedom from the perspective of a deliberating rational agent.